Hello, and glad to have you join us on this episode of the program, Everyone Deserves a Home, a program sponsored by the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, showcasing the bank's commitment to expanding access to affordable housing and mortgage opportunities. I am your regular anchor, Aisha Muhammad Ahmed. The current management of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria has been intensifying efforts to expand access to affordable housing through the National Housing Fund, NHF. It has refined process while engaging with stakeholders, all of which have increased access to mortgage housing options for Nigerians. In all, affordability remains a key priority, ensuring that more Nigerians, especially low and middle income earners, can achieve the dream of home ownership. These key steps are what we will be talking about in our program this evening. Before then, we'll take a look at our news diary to take stock of events in the housing sector. Other regular segments of Dream Come True and feedback will complete the package. Do stay tuned as the program starts fully after the short break. Welcome back. In our news diary tonight, Housing Ministry unveils Unified National Housing Delivery Framework and NHF Diaspora Mortgage Loan Implementation advances. Details of these and more coming up shortly after the break. The Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development has unveiled a unified housing delivery framework aimed at strengthening collaboration between the federal and state government to accelerate housing delivery nationwide. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Architect Ahmed Musa Dengiwa, announced the initiative at the 14th meeting of the National Council on Land, Housing and Urban Development in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital. He said the framework is designed to reposition Nigeria's housing sector to operate as one coordinated national system, ensuring that the ministry and all federal housing institutions function as one government in support of state-level housing implementation. Under the framework, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria will deliver single-digit mortgage products, National Housing Fund-linked financing, and rent-to-own schemes to expand access to affordable home ownership alongside other institutions driving the Renewed Hope agenda. The minister explained that states are expected to participate actively across flagship programs, including the Renewed Hope Housing Program, state-led social housing initiatives, urban renewal projects, and housing public-private partnerships. He added that the framework provides a predictable structure for federal-state collaboration at a time when many states now have improved fiscal capacity and require access to coordinated financing and private investment. In its efforts to expand affordable home ownership to Nigerians living abroad, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria's NHF Diaspora Mortgage Loan is taking shape, extending the benefits of the National Housing Fund scheme to Nigerians abroad and bridging the gap between home and diaspora. Chairing the NHF Diaspora Mortgage Loan Committee, the bank's Executive Director, Finance and Corporate Services, Mr. Oladapo Odojukan, noted that the product is already in motion, beginning with registration and contributions to the scheme, with structures set to deliver transparency and convenience for Nigerians in diaspora seeking to invest back home.
We are going to be starting with the registration and, of course, contributions. Those are the first two modules that we are going to execute with. That we are basically at the tail end, and he will be making an announcement very soon about when the product will be launched. But we, on our part, have gone through the entire process and have, determined the complete flow from the beginning. We believe we are ready. We believe we are prepared. We believe we've got the right partners working with us.
He further stressed the importance of aligning the product with notable standards, adding that collaboration are ongoing with relevant partners and professional bodies to ensure credibility and sustainability.
We believe we are ready. We believe we are prepared. We believe we've got the right partners working with us all through the process, from the CBN and NIDCOM and IMTO partners, as well as our platform providers, our tech support providers, CWG. We've got an entire ecosystem that we are working with to ensure that we are able to deliver this product efficiently, particularly considering the fact that we are dealing with diasporans, meaning the standard that they expect in terms of service delivery is pretty high, and we recognize that.
The Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, in collaboration with the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, has commenced a joint nationwide verification and tracking of constituency and zonal intervention projects across the country. The exercise, which was officially flagged off in Kano State, is aimed at ensuring transparency, accountability, and strict compliance with approved standards in the execution of federally funded projects. Speaking at the flag-off ceremony, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Dr. Shuaibu Belgore, said the initiative is designed to evaluate project impact and guarantee value for money for Nigerians, while serving as a clear warning to non-performing and defaulting contractors. He noted that corrective actions, sanctions, and possible recoveries would be enforced where projects fail to meet contractual obligations or approved specifications. The ICPC says the joint exercise will strengthen integrity in public project delivery and ensure that funds allocated to constituency projects translate into tangible development outcomes for citizens nationwide.
Mandate to provide affordable housing finance to Nigerian workers.
Our focus is on ensuring the financial sustainability of this bank.
We have been developing other products in order to reach the masses.
Strategic partnership is at the core of our business.
We have touched over 14 million lives.
Opening or trying new frontiers that still...
Every Nigerian deserves a home, and we will keep striving.
We are very strategic in the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President.
FMBN, everyone deserves a home.
Welcome to the Building Blocks, the segment where we spotlight the innovative strides of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria in driving access to affordable housing for low and middle income earners. Here, we explore the bank's effort as it continues to redefine the path to home ownership for millions of Nigerians. Let's take a look after this short break.
Across Nigeria, the dream of home ownership remains out of reach for millions. With a housing deficit estimated at over 17 million units, bridging this gap continues to be one of the nation's most urgent development challenges. Against this backdrop, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria stands at the center of Nigeria's housing finance responsibility, not just to fund homes, but to build a structure that makes home ownership sustainable, inclusive, and accessible. To respond to these realities, the current management team, led by Shehu Usman Osidi, has articulated a clear reform-driven vision anchored on a 7-point strategic agenda designed to drive impact, efficiency, and long-term sustainability. This includes strengthening institutional capacity, expanding mortgage accessibility, enhancing customer service, developing housing finance innovation, improving risk management, promoting transparency and efficiency, and leveraging strategic partnership to scale affordable housing delivery. But policy alone is not enough. Implementation requires collaboration, and this is where strategic partnership is critical.
That becomes our focus, is the fact that we continue to look for ways, we continue to interrogate ways, we continue to research in ways. It has to do with material sourcing, it has to do with collaborating with various stakeholders, leveraging on different partners. That's why one of the things we are focused on in this our own time is leveraging on partners, building partnerships. There's so many Nigerians widely spread. You know how large the country is, and you can't reach them, all of them, with brick and mortar. So those are some of the things we are looking at doing to see how we can reach those underserved Nigerians, to bring them into the financial space so that they too can take advantage of the mortgage facilities we have.
Backed by the NHF enabling and a growing policy reform framework, FMBN continues to evolve its products offering to better serve realities of today's housing markets, ensure that housing delivery remains accessible and aligned with the national development goals.
The whole essence, as I told you, of the NHF Act is to tie up with all that we are doing to serve two major purposes. Number one is to enable not only the low and medium earners or workers of Nigeria to have access to affordable houses, but also all poor Nigerians, irrespective of whether they are working for the public or private sector, but who are also in their own self-employment and also the informal sector. So we are citizen-based.
Yet, access to finance alone does not guarantee success. Sustainable home ownership depends on efficiency, transparency, and trust in the mortgage delivery process.
The efficiency of operations are always improving, and then from one management to another, there are what we call incremental development, and each management has done its own bit, and we are also doing our own bit. But more so, with the advent of ICT and its sophistication in the banking industry, we have escalated it, and it is really blossoming in terms of efficiency, and transparency, because almost everything now you can do online. When we came last year, we had to grapple with what we call ICT core banking application, which means you can do all your banking and loan activities and even refunds activities online.
At the heart of these operations lies one defining principle: affordability, which remains central to the bank's strategy.
Affordability is a function of two variables. One is cost and the other is income. Now, no matter how costly something is, if you have the money, you can afford it. And no matter how cheap something is, if you don't have the money, you can't afford it. The challenge is for us to explore designs that can be easily affordable. For example, you can create designs where you can start with a one-bedroom that is expandable to a two-bedroom. So as the income level of the individual improves, it can then expand to a two-bedroom. Or you have a design structure where a two-bedroom can be expandable to a three-bedroom. So if we are able to explore this, and then sometimes you can also look at the kind of building materials that you should use. You know, we have a lot of local materials in Nigeria that we can actually use to build houses.
At the core of FMBN's efforts is also a strong commitment to expand awareness, educating Nigerians on available mortgage options and empowering them to make informed housing decisions.
The fact that the housing sector is contributing less than 2% to the GDP in Nigeria creates an opportunity which we should explore. So we need to upscale the housing construction. We need to explore new technologies that can deliver houses at scale. And then we need to educate Nigerians on the benefits of taking mortgages. Rather than struggling to save to buy a house, you should explore the opportunity of taking a mortgage to buy a house.
To ensure these opportunities are not limited by geography, FMBN is leveraging both technology and institutional presence across the country, serving as key tools in ensuring mortgage access.
While technology will be one thing that would help us reach every part of the country, because truth be told, almost everybody has at least a phone. Now, that aside, we also have branches in the whole state. 36 states of the Federation were there, and some locations like Lagos, like FCT, we have more than one branch existing there. We also have zonal branches. These zonal branches cover all the geopolitical zones in the country as well. So these are like bringing our bank close to the people.
The bank's innovation also reflects its broader commitment to streamline international operations, with the core banking system and the implementation of the Electronic Document Management System (EDMS) and other technology platforms designed to automate key process, improve record, and reduce manual inefficiencies. To sustain these reforms, performance is not left to chance, as it is closely tracked through measurable indicators.
The Directorate of the Business Development and Portfolio Management, we have our monthly review session, we have our QBRs. In those sessions, we use measurable performance indices. Like we look at number of new organizations joining the scheme, the real contributors in those organizations. So we measure whether it is increasing or depleting. We also look at the contributions on a monthly basis. We know whether it is increasing, is depleting. We also know whether we have arrears to cover and all of that. We also look at cooperatives, the new entrants. We register new cooperative, and we also measure the contributors, whether it's not just enough to register new ones. We want to be sure that they have really started contributing into the scheme.
These efforts align with Nigeria's broader housing and economic development objectives by making home ownership accessible and affordable to average Nigerian.
Welcome back. The program is So Everyone Deserves a Home. In our next segment, we'll bring you a story of the inspiring journey of one of the beneficiaries of the NHF scheme, Ms. Adebola Adedoyin, as she shares with us her experience and the steps she took towards achieving her dream of home ownership. Relax and enjoy her story. Keep watching.
A contributor to the NHF.
I found that it's working.
It's something fantastic. It's great.
It's very easy to access.
It's flexible.
I call myself a landlord.
I'm a happy homeowner.
It's a dream come true.
On the click of your button, you can access our facilities.
Ms. Adebola Adedoyin owns a 2-room apartment at Abiskoli Estate, Kuje, Abuja. She works with the National Open University of Nigeria. As a worker, she knew of the existence of the NHF scheme, but she did not let it end there, as she took it upon herself to make inquiries to find out more about the scheme.
As a civil servant, usually they make deductions, monthly deductions from your salary every month, and that's a contribution towards maybe only a house, you understand. So I started asking questions. So I went to the desk officer in charge of NHF, and they told me, of course, they have some developers that have approached them, and these are the things they're offering and all that. So I had to go through some of the documents. I mean, some of the offers they have with them. So, and I chose this out of the ones given to me.
She tells us some of the processes she went through to enable her own her home.
I submitted 6 months salary payslip, my bank account details, and a tax tax certificate, I think a utility bill of where I was staying before, and some other documents. And I think I got 2 guarantors to sign for me, at least to guarantee me that I'm a loyal person, I can be trusted. So it was quite it was okay. So I think the process is not that bad.
As an elated homeowner, She shares how fulfilled she is owning her own house in Abuja without going through the pressure of paying rent.
Yeah, it's actually a thing of joy owning your own place in a place like in a city like Abuja, where every day the rent keeps going up and all that, and for you to be able to get one at your own convenience. Not convenience like that. What I mean by convenience is you can get it without the stress of having to pay a lump sum, or without the stress of a landlord stressing you that you must either pay me or you move out, you understand. So, and it's at your own convenience because the repayment is spread over a long period of time. So it's a thing of joy that you just have to wake up under your own roof and having a property to your own name.
The repayment, she says, is very suitable for her because of the period of time she has to gradually pay off the loan.
Yes, it's actually a convenient arrangement for me because I still have like over 20 years in service. So I believe that between the period of 20 years on or before that time, I would have been able to pay off, since the deductions will be made directly from my salary or from my account.
As a beneficiary of the National Housing Fund, she enlightens Nigerians on the need to be knowledgeable about the NHF scheme and the need to give it a trial.
I think a lot of Nigerians need to be encouraged and reorientated, you understand, because for a lot of civil servants, especially in Abuja, or state capital, it's difficult for them to gather a huge sum of money to own a property.
Can a beneficiary apply for an NHF loan in a state that doesn't have a primary mortgage bank?
That's one of also the challenges we have, because it's not every state that has a primary mortgage. But instantly we see that there is no geopolitical region in the county that doesn't have a primary mortgage. So what we always advise prospective off-takers is that when you have such kind of a problem, you can go to any of our branches within your vicinity and explain this to them. They can easily, introduce you to any of any closest PMB to you, because these PMBs used to move from one place to the other. Even if they are not in your town, they can come from where they are, package you, and then go back. So that's why you need to go to any of our branches, explain to them, and they can introduce you to a PMB that can package your application and then send to you FMBN.
And on this note, we bring this episode of the program to an end. Don't forget to make a date with us again next week, same time, same station, for another exciting edition of the program. For more information, visit www.fmbn.gov.ng or walk to any of our branch offices nationwide. You can also keep track of your NHF contributions by dialing *219# or visit ibank.fmbn.gov.ng to register. Thanks for watching and do have a good night. Bye for now.